think about this. All right, Pete, you've been doing this podcast for a long time. All right. This is the first time I've joined you on it. You said you met me a long time ago, and we've talked a few times before we did this. The beauty of golf is relationships, and the fact that we're just sitting here talking, and you're interested in my career, I'm interested in your podcast, and we're spending that time together. And that's what golf brings. It brings people together. And Arnold Palmer taught me a few things when I was at Golf Channel that I've never forgotten. And I can tell a lot of stories about my time at Golf Channel. I mean, I was blessed. I've been to the White House 2 times, once from an interview I did with the First Lady Laura Bush while I was at Golf Channel one-on-one. And the second time was because of the Solheim Cup when I was at the LPGA. So I've met George W. and I've met Barack Obama, but I've interviewed 5 presidents of the United States and had a lot of different great opportunities. But what stands out to me, and if you look over my shoulder, you'll see a picture of the king standing at St. Andrews.
I have that picture.
When I started at, and it's signed, when I started at Golf Channel, and he would come around, you didn't dare park in his parking space, by the way. And he would come around in 1997, shortly after the 96 Olympics. He was opening up an Arnold Palmer designed golf course in Conyers, Georgia, just outside Atlanta after the Olympic Games. They were going to build it on the equestrian site, and they did. And they said, Kraig, you're going to fly up there with the king on his airplane, and you're going to go to the day that he opens the golf course. And I'm like, wow, what an opportunity. So Al Pollock, cameraman, and myself go up there. At any rate, he does the day, plays the golf. We get done. And he went to the plane first. We had to interview some other dignitaries. And we get back by the plane, and he's standing up on the top of the steps going, come on, let's go already. And I'm like, oh, yes, sir. We get on and fly back to Orlando. I'm thinking, what's the rush, right? I mean, it's his own plane. We're not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. He owns the thing. But anyway, we get back to Orlando. We go into the hangar. And I'm telling you, Pete, this hangar, the floor at Orlando Airport of this hangar, private, is pristine. It's like marble. It's got the iconic logo with the umbrella and everything on it. And we get done, and I said, Mr. Palmer, thank you for an amazing day. He goes, where are you going? I said, well, I'm going back. I got to start working on this story. He said, not so fast. You're not going anywhere. I'm like, okay. He goes to the back of his airplane, and he wheels out this Coleman cooler. And the cooler's filled with ice and beers. And he says, we're having a beer. He pulls up 4 director's chairs, himself, his co-pilot, myself, and Al, the cameraman. And I called home, and I'm like, I'm going to be a little bit late. Why? Well, Arnold Palmer just said, we're having a beer. And if the king says we're having a beer, we're having a beer. So I'll be home whenever I get home. At any rate, Arnold Palmer at that time made me feel, anybody in that room, made me feel like the most important person in the room or in his world at that moment. And I never forgot that. That's what people say about him, but I never forgot it. And so when I'm around people, or when I'm doing my workshop, or when I'm one-on-one with some executive that wants to figure out how to present and own a room, I'm going to make them feel like they've got my full attention and they are the most important person to me, that collective group. I've never, ever forgotten that. Same thing. If you're blessed enough to sign an autograph, you better sign it just like he did, where it's legible and people can read it. Those things are really important lessons in life. And I've got tons of different stories from various things that have happened to me, but that one stands out. And I think it plays in anything that we do in life.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good story to sit there and have not only ride on his plane, but to cap it off and have beers with him sitting there. It doesn't really get much better than that.